Hi ladies, let me demonstrate to you how to make use of MS Excel to process the data that you have collected for the PT, which was a survey on communicable diseases. So first, let us put borders on the table. So highlight, then choose border. This is an icon of a box here, then choose all borders. All right. Then there are certain functions that we can do with Excel. Like we can total these grades in case you would like to compute for the mean using the formula summation of X over the sample size. So let's do this. Every time you make use of a function, you have to enter an equal sign so that MS Excel will compute for you. So sum, SUM, open parenthesis. Then it will suggest what to do next. So it says here number 1, comma, number 2, comma, and so on. So you can type them one by one or just highlight the cell that you need for this. So we have highlighted B3 to B17, meaning column B starting from row 3 to row 17. Then click enter or press enter. Then you get the total of all of these grades. Then the sample size is found by using the count function. That is count, open parenthesis. Then once again, highlight from top to bottom the values that you need to know about. So count. There are 15 as shown on the column stating class number. There are 15 students. So using the count function, we were able to get the same number, and that corresponds to the value of the small n, which is the sample size, because this is only a group of students from a certain stat class. Now, if you would like to get the average or the mean, without totaling and dividing by the sample size, then you can use the average function. So average, and then open parenthesis again, you can type one by one these values separated by commas, or just highlight them this way from B3 to B17, then close parenthesis, then click enter. Now notice that it shows the value up to the decimal places that can be accommodated in the cell. So if you want to format the answer to a certain number of decimal places, you can right click, then click format cells, number, then after number, make this 0 if you want a whole number, or keep it 2 if you want 2 decimal places. Okay, so let's say we have 2 decimal places, then click OK, then we see the value rounded off to the nearest 2 decimal places. Now, let's look for the median. You can use the median function. So, median returns the median or the number in the middle of the set of given numbers. So, you can highlight once again the values here. And so, we have 86. No? So if you would like to see if it's really 86, you can also sort this. So later, I'm going to show you how to sort these values. Now, how about the mode? So equals mode, and then open parenthesis, and then once again, highlight these values down to the last cell, then mode. So notice that the median and the mode are the same. Okay? And then how about the standard deviation? So you can refer to the handout number 5, stdev.s, which refers to the formula as a sample. Okay, so And it will suggest again that you highlight these values from class number 1 to class number 15, no? Referring to the grades of. And then the variance is var.s. So notice that on the screen shown, there's var.p and there's var.s. But of course, since we're dealing with sample, just like what we need in the PT, you only have selected a sample, no, by at random using the stratified random sampling. So var.s is what we are using. So we highlight the grades once again from B3 to B17. Then don't forget to close the parenthesis. Now, how about quartile? To compute for quartile, so you put again an equal sign, then quartile, no, .inc, that's what we need because that's the one that returns the quartile of a data set based on percentile values from 0 to 1. So this is what we need because this will produce the values that we compute for quartiles using the formula that we have been using. So notice again that once you have typed the open parenthesis, it will suggest what to type next. It says array, so you can again highlight the data ranging from B3 to B17. Then it also suggests what to type next, quart. So minimum value, first quartile, it tells you what number to type. If you intend to look for the first quartile, that's Q1, 25%, which is the same with the P25. You can also just type 1 next after comma. 2 if you're after the median, which is also the same value with 50th percentile. And then for the third quartile, you may also at the same time look for the 75th percentile. So let us type, no, then what we are actually computing after is Q2. So that's the second quartile. So we type 2, then close parenthesis, then enter. So there is an answer. It says 86. How about the third quartile? So again, equal sign, then quartile. .inc, can just click or type one by one, then it will suggest what to do next. I double click and came up with array, comma, quart. So array means you highlight once again the data from the grade of class number 1 to the grade of class number 15. Then you may also type here in the formula box as shown. So because we haven't typed the comma with the number. So see, it will tell you what to do next. No, when you forget, then there's a way for you to be reminded on what to do next because there are suggestions. So we're after the third quartile, so we put 3 and then enter. Then it will solve. It says 92. So Q3, no, is 92. This one was Q1, which is expected to be the same with the median, right? And at the same time, yan, expected to be, so Q2, expected to be the same with the median, the same with the 50th percentile, and at the same time, decile, no? 5, the 5th decile. So all of them should have the same values because all of them refer to the half, no, the middle value of the data. Now, 5th decile, press equal sign, then decile. No, you can put decile and you can actually make use of percentile since they are all the same. So we can use percentile here instead. So percentile dot inc. And so the 5th decile is the same with the 50th. So that's why it's also good to know which among these are the same. So we can either use quartile or the percentile. Then after that, what are we looking for? If we're using percentile, then the fifth decile is equal to the 50th. So enter. That would mean 0.5. It's in percentage. So you see that the second quartile is the same with the fifth decile. And then the same way that the ninth decile can be made the same with percentile 90, the 90th percentile. So you can use percentile .inc, can type one by one or just click when it comes out. And open parenthesis. Then again, it will suggest what to do after. So highlight the whole array from B3 to B17. Then of course, you need to input the K since you're after the ninth decile, which is also the 90th percentile. In percentage, that's 0.9. Close parenthesis. Then it solves for you. So we are also using the same formula for percentile. So percentile.inc, or you can just click it because it comes out as a suggestion. Then it tells you to input the array. So highlight from B3 to B17 and then comma, and then represent 50th percentile as a percentage. That's again 0.5, which is 50%. Then enter. Notice that all of them, D5, P50, Q2, they're all 86. Okay, and let's look into the percentile, the 90th percentile, and see if it's really the same with D9, which is the 9th decile. Click INC. Again, we are using this formula because this brings out what we expect with the formula, textbook formula that we have been working on. Then, comma, represent the 90th percentile as 0.9, so 90%. Enter. And again, notice that it's the same as 94.6, the D9, the same with. And I'm going to label this as D9. The same with the P90. Okay? In fact, they have the same formula. Now, how do we sort? Now, will this affect the formula? No, that was already been used in the lower rows. No. So, let's see. How do we sort? So, highlight what you want to sort. Right click, then sort. Let's try smallest to largest. And notice that there is no continue with the current. If you want the class number to be considered in the sorting, no, then you must also highlight it. So it can expand the selection. Okay. Let's see. We need to highlight this too so that the class numbers will also go with the sorting. Notice that when you right click, the sort will come out. Then it says lowest to the highest. So sort from, so let's see what's going to happen here. Continue with current. So yeah, it was sorted, but the class numbers did not go with it. So how do we include the class numbers with sorting? So let's undo. So if this happens, you can just click undo to go back to the previous state of your data. All right. So let's try this out. Custom sort. So sort by cell values. So this is what we're going to sort, cell values. And then this one, grades. So, and then what happens is that the sorting will be based on the grades, but when you sort, the class numbers will also be rearranged, no, according to the grades corresponding to them. Okay, so of course formatting, you can put borders, you can also highlight or make this bold, right click and then select the cell, and you can click and select and then make it bold. You can color, you can, for example, you want to fill this with this color, then you click that, no, to highlight. So that's how to use MS Excel to find the different measures of central tendency, measures of location, and measures of dispersion. Just like what we have been doing with the formulas, no, that we have used using our scientific calculator. That's it, and thank you.